Perhaps you're an outdoorsy person like me, but you feel a bit stuck in life right now, like you're in a rut physically, mentally, or even professionally. What if deliberately spending more time outdoors could reset your life and give you a fresh start? That's what I wanted to find out. So I set a challenge for myself: hike 10 miles every day for 30 days while still juggling work, family, and life.
This is it, day one, first mile of the first day. I don't know how this is gonna go. Feels good to get out and do it though, I can say that much. Always feels good to start.
So why do this? I've been feeling out of shape and stuck in a mental slump. When I started this hiking challenge, I had a backpacking trip coming up with some fit friends, and I wanted to be physically ready to tackle some steep terrain during hunting season, but I knew I wasn't ready.
Still day one and I'm only probably a mile in. Now I'm on the uphill section. And man, it is a sad reminder of how out of shape I am.
It's not just my dad bod holding me back. I was feeling stuck creatively and professionally too, doing anything to avoid the most important tasks. Ideas weren't flowing, productivity was down, and business wasn't taking off. I mean, I know I'm in my 40s now, but I didn't think my prostate would slow that stuff down too. Most importantly, I wanted to reset my compass and feel like my life was moving in the right direction again. I didn't like the status quo, so I knew I had to shake things up. If I could do this hard thing and stick to it for 30 days, I thought I had a shot at breaking some bad habits and initiating some real change. But if I failed, I might just keep slogging through life unsatisfied. The plan was simple: hike 10 miles every day close to home so I could still tend to family and work duties. The execution, not so simple.
Not super stoked about hiking today. I just ran out of daylight. I think I walked through poison ivy. I've been getting bored of this the last few days. Now a bear. My Achilles is killing. The amount of water, it consumes a lot of time. Poor sleep. Had some kind of pent up stress and I'm kind of hurting. I was ill prepared for this.
The challenges started early, with my first big hurdles being wildfire smoke and my lack of physical fitness.
I have asthma, not usually a problem when I exercise, but there have been all kinds of forest fires around. So the Boise Valley has been really smoky. I'm feeling the asthma a bit, so I might have to factor that into how much I push it. Oh, we'll keep going. These uphill sections are a bore. You know what Lego Batman said about leg day?
Who never skips leg day?
I always skip leg day. Also, chafing might be an issue. It's a smoky day today. It is only day 3 and I'm kind of hurting. I think I'm gonna have to dial this thing back just a tad. Day 5 now, and I decided I needed to ease into it. So yesterday I took a rest day because my legs were just killing. Today I feel good, so I actually rode my bike for a few miles and I'm walking on flat stuff on the Greenbelt in Boise for the other 7 miles. So this morning I decided I'd try to tackle something with a little more elevation again. So I'm doing a trail that climbs 2,700 feet in about 5 miles.
This was a real turning point physically and mentally. I was beginning to appreciate the beautiful trails and places right in my hometown. And what a treat it was to discover the Intermountain Bird Observatory by accident. This is a research station where bird biologists and licensed bird banders capture, collect data on, and release all kinds of songbirds, raptors, and even owls. It was super cool to see them work and observe birds up close. So cool, in fact, that I returned there a few weeks later with a crew to make a mini documentary about them that I'll soon publish right here on this channel. So subscribe if you want to see those birds up close and learn more about what they do there. Now getting back to the hiking challenge.
I feel so much better than I did a week ago. Today I climbed more vertical elevation than any other day so far. My legs at the end of it feel a lot better than they did at the end of day 1. So some improvement is occurring.
By that second week, something shifted. My body was sore but adapting.
And to my surprise, I find myself jogging a little bit. Only downhill, of course. But hey, all the time you put on the trail starts to add up. I got a lot of stuff to do today. I gotta get this done.
Physically, I was feeling stronger and more energized. Mentally, I felt clearer, but some days I didn't want to hike at all. I was bored, tired, or frustrated.
Today was one of those days where things didn't quite go right. Had some kind of pent up stress, I guess. Didn't really feel it till I started walking, and man, I feel like I'm walking aggressively, listening to some intense rock music. Sometimes things just don't go like you hope they do in life. And I don't know if this hiking gig is the answer, but it feels like a good release right now. Poor sleep. Actually, not poor sleep. I'm sleeping great. I've gotten in a bad habit of going to bed a little bit late, and now when you're waking up earlier to do something like this, you really start to feel it snowball and pile up on you. So I'm gonna have to just be more disciplined at nighttime, I guess. I get a little bit bored sometimes, but today is a Sunday, and I'm a Formula One fan, so I found a way to entertain myself a little bit by watching the Formula One race while I walk.
But as it turned out, the hardest thing about this challenge wasn't physical or mental, it was time.
There's just a lot of family things that I would like to be doing, and walking for 10 miles takes me a while. And so today's a Saturday, and we're supposed to take my daughter out to lunch for her birthday. We're still gonna do it, but it's gonna be delayed because of this. There's other things I would like to do with my family. Also some work stuff I'd like to get done that I'm behind on. And that's the challenge of this. It consumes a lot of time. So kudos to people who get way into these workout regimens and manage to stick to it despite life. So once I'm done with this challenge though, I'm already thinking, I'm looking forward to when I can sacrifice some of this walking for the things that really matter, like hanging out with my kids. Deadlines, am I right? Got a bunch of stuff I need to do today. So I'm trying to hustle this morning. Gonna have to break this hike up into two. Got a meeting in the middle. Gotta do what you gotta do to get it done. Some days there's just a lot of other stuff going on. I split up my hiking or walking time and I just end up trying to finish things off, walking around the neighborhoods.
Balancing family, work, and a challenge like this wasn't easy. Most days I started my hike right after dropping my daughter off at school. Other days I had to fit the miles in between work meetings, in the dark, or whenever I could. Despite the difficulties, however, there were many, many beautiful moments along the way, including some magical wildlife sightings.
Sunrise on day 2. And the desert country around me sometimes surprises me. It is quite beautiful in its own way. I'm glad I brought my binoculars today because I saw something up there. Up there you can kind of see it, bighorn sheep. I've been getting bored of this the last few days, so it's refreshing to have something exciting happen. Just be in a new, different place. It just kind of refreshes why I go outside, I guess. Not the best wildlife footage you've ever seen, but it's cool for me. Today is the day of days. Man, cooler weather, I am seeing all kinds of things, all the desert things. Wow. Wild horse. He's curious about me. This might be the most beautiful hike I've taken yet. It's too bad it's smoky, but I'm gonna enjoy it anyway. The first of many lakes I shall see today. Look at that 10-car rod. Not a huge fish, but man, it looks like I got a shark. Look at that guy. Yet another lake. Another lake. There's a lookout tower up on that peak. Now a bear. Sheesh, manish. Yeah, wow, a bear. I've seen so much wildlife and that is close. I want to keep moving. I'm right on a road too. He looks small. I don't know if a mama's nearby or if he just broke off from the family because he doesn't seem scared enough. Another lake, one of the most beautiful with all those colors and the smoke's clearing. It's a great day when you get the lake all to yourself.
I tracked my miles every day on an app, and it was satisfying to see the miles and maps rack up. But I also learned you can't always trust those maps in the field, and sometimes the trail, or lack thereof, gets rough.
This is the trail that the trail map app says, and as you can see, not much of a trail. So you can't always trust it. At least I know the trail that I'm going to end up at. So yeah, this is in no way, shape, or form a trail. And yet, I really hope I don't step on a snake or something. Look at this. Oh well. Man, I don't know. Days like today started out magical. All those bighorn sheep. Then to have that experience come around the corner, there's this freaking wild horse standing on the knoll in the sunlight. It was incredible. He snorted at me and I think he might have been warning me because then the middle part of this hike turned into some serious type 2 fun. I was bushwhacking. There was no trail. I think I walked through poison ivy. Onyx backcountry, you failed me on this one. Trust but verify, I guess, but I don't know. I'm exhausted. I still got a mile left. I'm out of water. I was ill prepared for this. I'm gonna be okay. But man, Days like today makes me want to really throw in the towel on this challenge. I saw something cool, let's call it good.
There were times when circumstances got in the way of me accomplishing my goal.
Well, I have some bad news. I didn't hit my 10 miles today. It's a bummer, but I came camping. I'm solo camping up here by myself in a new area, new trails that I'm not familiar with. I just ran out of daylight. So I didn't quite make my goal today, but such is life, I think. And it's certainly not ending on a bad note.
And there were other times when I chose not to complete my goal for what I thought was a good reason.
So I just decided I'm not gonna hit my full 10 miles today. I'm out camping with my family this weekend, and I invited them to come on this hike today, but they just weren't feeling up for it, so they didn't want to do that. They wanted to fish and play games and do other things at camp, which is great. So here I am, out in the woods, beautiful, beautiful area. But I'm thinking, man, I could do this, or I could go hang out with my family. And that's what I want to do. I'm missing out on those moments with my kids, and I don't like that, so I'm gonna go back.
As I neared the end of the 30 days, I began
Losing steam a little bit. Not super stoked about hiking today.
and on the final stretch, I thought I might have hurt myself bad enough that I wouldn't be able to finish.
Today, my Achilles is killing.
And I just finished walking, not quite 6 miles is all, but man, that Achilles tendon of mine on my right foot has been bothering me since yesterday's walk. Feeling okay today, so I went ahead and walked on something flat, but was still feeling it enough that I think I'm just gonna cut today short. Crap happens, gotta deal with it. So did I finish? While I did lose 12 pounds, I didn't regain the physical prowess I never had in the first place, though I felt awesome on that backpacking trip and felt better on my hunts than I have in years. While I certainly forced myself out of that rut and felt mentally and emotionally reinvigorated, I've since fallen back into some of my bad habits and haven't managed to dramatically change my behavior. But inserting this 10-mile hike into my daily routine for a month certainly felt like a shot in the arm, but in a good way without resorting to an actual shot in the arm. I felt more productive, focused, and connected to nature and my family. I learned to push through discomfort and rediscovered the joy of finishing something big. I even had some stimulating bouts of inspiration, creativity, and productivity for work. I took phone calls for both business and pleasure on the trail, which helped me reconnect with family, friends, and contacts better than I had in months. I listened to hours of audiobooks and podcasts that were informative, educational, and entertaining. But I also walked many hours in silence. What really surprised me, though, was that I managed to get everything done that needed to be done. Despite the fact that I was spending 3 to 5 hours out of every day walking instead of being at home or in the office, the important stuff got done, and I dare say, more efficiently. Walking for that long every day forced me not only to get outside, but to get out of my own head. And if only for that, the whole challenge was worth it, and I'm grateful I did it. If you put a bunch of rice in a jar first, and then put large marshmallows in on top, it's not all going to fit in the jar. But if you put the marshmallows in first, and then add the little bitty rice, it all fits. And so it is with life. The marshmallows are your priorities. If you fill your time with small things first, like I was, you'll never have room in your day for the big important stuff. But when you prioritize the big, meaningful things first, your health, passions, and relationships, the hard things with the greatest value, all the small stuff falls into place. Finishing the challenge in 30 days was within reach, but my foot was hurt worse than I thought, and I wasn't sure if it would end how I expected.
I took 2 full days off. Today my foot feels great. Just finished 10 miles, kept it flat around town today. Feeling really good. So I think tomorrow I'll try a proper hike.
It looked like I was gonna make it.
Today is day 30, the last day of this hiking challenge. I have done it. I'm about halfway through. My leg feels good. Picked a beautiful hike. What an experience this has been. I'm glad I've done it, but I'm also glad it's about to be over.
I did finish, even if it took me 33 days to walk for 30 days, even if I didn't hit my mileage goal every time, even if I wasn't perfect and sometimes had to take a walk in the park instead of a hike in the hills, I finished and it felt great. I'm not saying you need to hike 10 miles every day to reset your life, but maybe disrupting your routine and prioritizing your own version of what's important to you could put some wind in your sails.
It's done. Oh, it's done, and it feels good to get in the truck this last time. 14 miles today, not just 10. Oh yeah! Yeah!